Well, you may ask, why am I coming to you in a face mask today? The reason is simply I'll take it off so you can see my lips, it's easier to understand, but to invite you this Sunday, July the 12th, here at Toronto Celebration Church. Why am I wearing the mask? Well, because we have been throughout the entire lockdown and pandemic following the physical distancing rules, and so as per city regulations, this Sunday we went inside a building. One must wear a mask. So bring your mask. Although if you forget, somehow we have some at the door. Now people have been asking, of course we've been open now at 30% capacity for several Sundays, but some still wonder. Some have had questions, and until you see, and seeing is believing, I guess they say. So until you see physically yourself, some have asked, well, what should I expect if I come to the physical location of 190 Railside Road for church on Sunday, as we've done in the past? Well, I want to take you on a quick little guided tour, shall we say. Maybe not the complete tour, but let me just say first, when you arrive at the building, there is one door, the door I'm standing in front of, in fact, which is marked by arrows on the ground leading into the building, so you'll clearly know. In fact, the other doors that are not for going in are locked, and so these are the only doors that you can enter. In other words, creating one flow in and one flow out. In other words, we're creating a contactless service. In other words, you don't have to have contact with other people. That's the point of physical distancing, so that you can stay 6 feet or 2 meters apart throughout your visit. The masks, of course, have been actually used since the beginning of lockdown by all volunteers and staff who are participants. In fact, many of our team wear the plastic face shields that are used at grocery stores. For example, I'd say a debit machine or different workers. And so gloves and such, sanitization. So I want to take you on a little bit of when you come, you can see very clearly at the entrance which way to come in by the arrows as you walk in. You can't even go the wrong way. Everything is roped off to create only one flow in and one flow out. There are reminders like this sticker here to remind you to stay 6 feet apart. And we want to create a safe environment for all our members. You can see as you come in, one flow in and one flow out. Everything is marked off and roped off so that there's a good orderliness to the service. Again, in the past, we have passed communion down aisles, communion trays, passed offering buckets. There is no passing of anything any longer. In the past, at a service, we've taken time to greet one another with handshakes or hugs. That doesn't happen at this point in time. Again, full compliance with physical distancing rules. And so you can be very safe and confident knowing that you can remain 6 feet or 2 meters apart from individuals outside of your family bubble throughout the duration of the service. In fact, when I go to the lobby to greet people after the service, as is my practice, both Pastor Peter and I, we put back on our mask. Again, we're not looking to break the physical distancing rules, but to follow them. And we have, and I believe we've created a very safe environment. I feel much safer here than when I go to the grocery store buying my groceries. And so I think you can feel confident in that. And so as you come in, again, one flow in, one flow out only. But as you come in, as you're about to enter the auditorium, if you so choose, you can receive prepackaged, come with me, prepackaged communion elements, which are given to you. You don't take them out of the bucket. A server, masked, gloved server, will give them to you with tongs if you so choose. If you don't, you just continue right into the auditorium. Again, there's one way into the auditorium, one flow out. So you're not going to run into people coming the opposite way. Very, very safe. And so as you come in, again, everything is clearly demarked throughout. Every second row is closed. You can see, come on up, I don't know if we want to be safe for our cameraman here who's operating the camera, but you can see here every second row is taped off, is to clearly mark that you should not sit there, which allows people to sit in every second row to keep that distance frontwards and backwards, keeping the 2 meter distance frontwards and backwards. And then of course, we ask individuals, and people have been incredibly compliant with this, but for families to, or for units to sit at least 3 chairs apart. If the other individual's not from your bubble or your unit, then people sit at least 3 rows apart to keep that 6 feet or 2 meters. We've also created this much shorter rows of sections to keep each row at a maximum of 6, so that there aren't people sitting in the middle of rows crawling over other people. That should not happen and will not happen, because we've created smaller sections or smaller rows, much smaller rows, so we have many sections now, many sections, which of course in times past the ushers, we would have needed many ushers, but we don't now, because nothing is being passed. Your envelope, if you so choose, will be sitting on your chair already, and so you can choose to use it or not. So there is nothing again being passed. The buckets, you say, well, how do you do an offering? Well, the buckets are all simply at the front of the auditorium. They're not there right now, but they're on tables at the front of the auditorium, and if you so choose, you can bring it there, or you can do it at the rear of the auditorium in a bucket. So again, nothing is passed. You choose whether or not you wish to move around. Otherwise, you can simply come in, sit 2 meters apart, and then leave at your choosing, following the arrows, following all the different flows of traffic. So again, there is only one flow of traffic in and one out. If you so choose to go to the debit machine, again, there are lineups, just lines, showing you the direction. There are several debit machines, and there's also demarcation on the floor, like at a grocery store, shall we say, to keep individuals 6 meters or 2 meters or 6 feet apart. And so again, we've created this environment. Now you ask, what about the kids? I'm not going to go there right now. It's not open at this present moment, but the same thing applies in the children's departments, distancing for the children. And so the workers have worked very hard at doing that. It's not easy with children, but daycares have begun to reopen, and so we've decided to do the same here as well. And so you say, well, what about if you exceed your 30% capacity? Well, we have a ticketing system on our website where people pre-register. Now we are allowed, we have a huge auditorium, we've set up extra chairs, so we are allowed to, we can have over 300 people, still maintaining that same distancing of 6 feet or 2 meters. Now you say, well, what if you go over? Well, we could have multiple services throughout a Sunday, so there's no issue there. We can service every single one of our members, and so we'd love to see you. Again, we're following the full physical distancing rules. We've had several Sundays into this now, and every Sunday we've had recap meetings with our leaders to say, what is the feedback you're getting? The people who are coming say they feel very safe. Again, we've had these follow-up meetings to see, every week in fact, to see what can we do better? How can we improve the experience for every individual? And so I'd love to hear from you. In fact, you can, my information, how you can contact me is on our website, but my email is nathan@ticc.ca, or call the office. Love to hear from you, love to hear your feedback, but I'd love to see you this Sunday. There is a power in gathering together. We've been grateful for the online community, and that's continuing, of course, but there's a power in gathering together. And so we'd love to see you this Sunday, 10:30 a.m. or our 1 p.m. service. God bless you.